Welcome to This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. My name is Matt Menzel, and on this week's edition, we will focus on men's basketball. They resume a 4-game homestand on Wednesday against the Lakeland University Muskies. But up first, we talk women's hockey, being joined by senior defenseman Savannah Hutchins. Heck of a season so far for the women's hockey team. A record right now of 15 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. The 15 wins already a program record for wins in a single season. 10-3-1 in NCHA play. And again, at one point, this team won 10 consecutive. How much fun has this season been so far for you?
Honestly, this has probably been the most fun season yet. Right away, like the first week of practices, just the chemistry on the ice was better than it's ever been. Obviously, we have a big group of seniors, so I think that helped, but the freshmen just kind of came in and they got along with everyone just as well. So it's just been like really fun, like chemistry and just all of that type of stuff.
So let me ask you about that. So you mentioned the chemistry, but I guess for you, what has been the biggest difference maybe from last year versus this? Because you guys still won 12 games last year. It's essentially the same team, but you guys are having way more success.
I think that we've just been clicking better, and just at practice, the environment is just fun. Like, girls are, you can tell like they're enjoying it more and they're taking it more as like a hobby instead of like coming to practice every day and being like, oh, we have to be here. It's more of like we get to enjoy it, we want to enjoy it. And I think it also kind of goes along with how we have so many seniors, because all of us just want to enjoy it because it's our last season.
And this past weekend, you guys enjoyed a couple of victories against the Lawrence University Vikings, knocking off Lawrence 7-0 on Friday. What a start, up 4-0 after one period. That's kind of been the key for your success this season too, hasn't it? Just the quick starts against the opposition.
Yeah, for sure. We've definitely had a bunch of games this season where we've gotten the first bounce. I've noticed that when we get that first bounce, it kind of lights a fire, and then we just continue with it, and just the energy in the locker room gets higher and higher, and then I think it just shows on the ice.
Yeah, so far the Falcons have scored the first goal in 16 of 21 games. You look at that game on Friday, I guess just what was the mindset? Okay, you guys are up 4-0 after one. You mentioned, okay, you get off to that quick start, you carry it through. I guess just take us through that game. It seemed like everybody found a way to contribute.
Yeah, I guess we just didn't want to settle. We were like, yeah, we're up 4-0, but why not get more? Why not keep going? And obviously, like, we have big games coming up this weekend, so we also didn't want to get into a habit of, after the first period, just if we have a lead, settling. Because, I mean, this next weekend's games, we're going to have to put together a full 60 minutes, so we didn't want to create bad habits.
So you get the win on Friday, and again, 16 players recording points. You had an assist. You had a bigger performance on Saturday, a victory against Lawrence up in Appleton by a 5-0 final. You had 1 goal and 2 assists. Your first goal of this season, describe it.
Honestly, it was just kind of like, it was fun. I just kind of skated up. I saw Bauer. She obviously has a lot of points, so I just kind of followed her, and then the rebound came out, and I just kind of whacked it. And then I just didn't really realize it went in until Amanda was hugging me, and then it was just kind of, yeah, it was exciting. So
you look throughout your hockey career, and you've come through with some goals here and there. You have 5 for your Falcon career. Do you remember all 5 of them?
No, not at all.
Do you remember the first one?
I do remember the first one. It was my sophomore year. I was on the power play, and Bella passed it to me, and I just shot it. And then Bella and Colleen gave me like the biggest hug, and the bench was just super excited because, again, it was my first goal, so it was a big deal.
So you go back to your sophomore year for that first goal. Overall, when you think about your time with Concordia, how do you feel like you've grown as a player in your time?
Honestly, I think I've grown a lot. Coming in my freshman year, obviously there was just like a lot of challenges with being a freshman. I'm a huge homebody, so that in itself was a challenge. Hockey, my freshman year was kind of a struggle, and then I think my sophomore year, I realized that like a lot of girls were graduating, so spots had opened up, and I think that I just was like, this is kind of my chance, and I just had fun with it. Colleen was my partner. She kind of took me under her wing. And then my junior season, I kind of took it upon myself to like be that same leader figure that Colleen was to me and take people under my wing. And then I think my senior year, it's just kind of been the same thing.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, you guys had senior night, knocked off Stevens Point, picked up a 10th consecutive victory. For you, how special, how emotional was senior night?
It was very emotional. It's been an emotional season just because every single week that goes by, you're like, oh, we're 1 week closer to the end. But I think that the only thing that's kind of getting a lot of us seniors through is that it has been such a fun season and that we know we're not done yet. Yes, we've broken records. Yes, we've had a very good season, but none of us are ready to be done yet. So I think we're just going to continue to have that mindset, and hopefully things will string together in playoffs.
Well, you said that that's the best part. They're not done yet. And when you look at the road ahead, this weekend will be at number 5, Adrian, on Friday and Saturday. Note you can spend Valentine's Day with the Falcons at the Ozaki Ice Center. They're home on Valentine's Day against Marion at 6 p.m. Not to mention, they will be hosting a quarterfinal series on February 21st and the 22nd. I guess to wrap things up, get your thoughts on the road ahead with the matchups against Adrian and against Marion.
I think that if we can just go into the games with the same consistency that we've already had, and just the same energy, the same kind of idea that we aren't done yet and we don't want to settle, I think that we could make some things happen. We know that Adrian is a great team. We know that it's going to be a battle, but I think that our mindset going into it is going to be everything.
Well, Savannah, thanks a lot for your time. All the best to you and the team.
Thank you so much.
And more to come after this on This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
I can't imagine being any other profession than an orthopedic surgeon. We have the privilege and we have the responsibility to make people better. We've been fortunate enough to take care of professional athletes. We've also been fortunate enough to take care of our neighbors and friends who trust us to give them back their life.
One of the main reasons I came here was because this is the way healthcare is meant to be delivered. Being devoted exclusively to orthopedic care means that we can focus on delivering specialized care for every patient. And that includes not only the surgeons and the physicians, but also anesthesia, controlling pain, the nurses, and the scrub techs, and everyone in the recovery is dedicated to treating conditions that are very similar for people.
Our tagline is an uncommon focus on you. We think the focus on the patient experience is what sets us apart. Before we make any process or clinical decision at the hospital, we start with the same question: is this what's best for the patient? If we can't answer yes, we move on to the next idea. Our nurses provide care for no more than 3 patients per shift, whereas other facilities, they might provide care for 7 or even 8 patients per shift. We think this personalized care is what sets us apart from others.
I think that dedication to our patients is our number one focus. And you can technically do a good operation, but if you're not centered on the patient, they're not necessarily going to have a great outcome.
The Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is physician-owned. It's physician-led. We have the responsibility to make the right decision for every patient. We also have the freedom to make the right decision for every patient.
Physicians and staff collaborate through regular meetings, weekly and monthly, and with a relatively small team, we're able to change the way we do things if we need to tweak something to make it perfect.
The facility specifically was designed so that quality could be measured and maintained and sustained. When you have 7,000 patients a year receive their surgery here, it's important that patient number 1 and patient number 7,000 receive the same care.
We place an extremely high priority on the patient experience here. We send surveys to each and every person that receives care at our hospital. Those survey results come back directly to me. I review them and share them with our senior leadership, as well as the staff and the physicians that provide the care to those patients.
There's almost 5,000 hospitals in the country that are measured. The Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin measures number 1, not number 2, not number 3, not runner-up, number 1 in patient satisfaction in the state of Wisconsin for the last 10 years running.
Welcome back to This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. We now switch gears to men's basketball. They continue a 4-game homestand this week with games on Wednesday and Saturday. Wednesday here inside the John Book Fieldhouse against the Lakeland University Muskies at 7 p.m. Freshman forward Luke Eggemeyer, my guest, and you guys are coming off a couple of wins last week, beginning on Wednesday down in Chicago against IIT. That was a 79-60 final. When you look back at Wednesday's win, I guess, in your opinion, what was the difference in that outcome?
I think our defense was probably the biggest difference. We really stepped it up in the second, getting a bunch of stops, and then also like we were starting to hit shots and we were running the floor really well too. So
It also seems like this team makes a living at the free throw line. How big is free throws into this team's success?
recently, a few games have been coming down like to a lot of free throws at the end of the game, and so making our free throws throughout the game have really been a big decider in like our 4 or 5 point wins and a bunch of games. So
You look at the games last week on Wednesday against IIT. The Falcons went 21 of 27 from the free throw line, 22 of 27 at the free throw line in the overtime victory here on Saturday against Edgewood. But in that game against IIT, you had a heck of a performance, going 6 for 6 from the field, 13 points, 1 for 1 from downtown, your first collegiate 3-point field goal make. Your thoughts on your performance?
I thought I played pretty good. I was confident going into that game. I knew I needed to shoot, and I remember Coach telling me to be aggressive too. Just, got to play confident and do the little things that no one wants to do, rebound, play defense, get steals if it's there, just be the best all-around player I can be for the team.
And mentioned you knocked down your first collegiate 3. Is that a part of the game that you want to come? Do you want that 3-point shot to be part of your arsenal, or is that, here and there?
I would like it to become part of my arsenal if I could make it. I'm still working on like confidence part of it and everything, and getting down because it is a little farther than in high school and stuff like that. But once again, I'd like to make it part of my arsenal in future years and stuff like that, and maybe even this year.
Now, following the victory against IIT on Wednesday, the Falcons knocking off Edgewood here inside the John Book Field. It's a heck of a game, winning 87-82 in overtime. And again, I'll ask you, when you look at that game, what was the difference?
Our defense, I would really say Zach Leahy at the very end of the game coming up with some big stops, stealing the ball and stuff like that. But like I said, our defense is probably our main advantage at this point, getting that stop at that last moment when we need it and really sealing the deal.
In a big game on Saturday, that for Logan Landers coming through with a 31-point performance. More about you. You're from Missouri. How did you end up at Concordia?
I reached out to Coach, and he also, kind of reached out to me a little bit, and he looked at my game film, and next thing you know, I was up here with kind of an unofficial visit, over Easter, and then after that, it kind of just happened. Like, I really loved the school from the visit, and I liked the way the school, how big the classes were and all that stuff, and the specificity and stuff, all that. And so, yeah.
I'm guessing he loved what he saw in the film. Obviously, you're here, and you were a 1,000-point scorer back in your prep days. For you, though, going from high school to college basketball, what has been the biggest adjustment or the biggest, difference that you've seen from what you were accustomed to?
Quickness of the game. Like, it's way faster than it was in high school. Like, high school, it felt like I could, sometimes take a breather, but in college, I'm always running. I'm always doing something. It takes a toll on your exercise, your ability to run and stuff like that.
You talked about confidence. Where's your confidence level at right now, and has it gone kind of up and down throughout the course of the year, or where was it maybe at the beginning of the season?
Confidence right now, I would say it's like medium to high. It definitely was lower at the beginning of the season. I didn't know quite where I was fitting in on the team. I didn't know quite what I was going to do or how I was going to perform. But, the coaches, they're on me. Like, they keep on telling me, like, you can do good things here and, like, you can be a good player. And so just from them constantly helping me and building my confidence, and then my teammates, telling me that I can be good here, like I'm on the court for a reason and stuff like that. So I think my confidence has really grown over our games and stuff like that. So
I'm guessing the team chemistry has developed quite a bit from where it was at the beginning of the season.
Yes, sir. It definitely has. Our first few games, our team chemistry wasn't quite right, I will say. And then as we've been playing on and stuff like that, our team chemistry has really grown. We're getting closer. We're becoming more I can tell more and more what people are going to do and what they're going to do when they drive the lane and stuff like that. So,
and it's paying off now when you look at wins and losses right now. The Falcons with 11 wins and 9 losses, 8-5 in conference play, good for 4th place, have won 3 consecutive, sit 5-1 here inside the John Book Field as they continue this 4-game homestand later on here this week. What's it like playing here at home? I mean, this place is usually packed. It's usually pretty loud.
I really enjoy it. I came from kind of a small high school, so we didn't have very many fans, but when we did, it was a lot of fun. And coming here, we have a lot more fans than I thought that would show up and stuff like that. So it's just been great having all the energy and stuff like that. The atmosphere is great, especially all the other athletes at school coming to support us and all that stuff. So.
And again, you can see the Falcons coming up on Wednesday. It's going to be a 7 o'clock tip-off here against the Lakeland University Muskies. Also part of this 4-game homestand, a matchup against Rockford Saturday at 1 p.m. You guys owe Rockford a little revenge after what happened back in December, a 2-point loss to the Regents. I guess to wrap things up for you, I guess what's your mindset? What goals do you have for what's left in this season?
I would love to make it to the NCAA tournament, the big national D3 tournament and stuff like that. And I'd love to win conference, and that's required for us to do that. But most of all, I just love to have more fun out there on the court and stuff like that. So,
well, Luke, appreciate the time. All the best to you and your teammates.
Thank you.
And as far as the rest of Falcons athletics go here this week, a busy week which will include women's basketball taking on Lakeland. That's up in the Sheboygan area on Wednesday. Home against Rockford following the men's game at 3:15 on Saturday. Note that wrestling is in action on Friday, part of the NAC Showcase hosted by Lakeland. ACHA hockey, they start the HAP Cup tournament with a quarterfinal matchup. That's on Friday morning from Fond du Lac versus DePaul. Men's hockey, home on Friday and Saturday against Adrian. Men's volleyball is home Friday against UC Santa Cruz. Track and field from the Ripon Invite taking place on Saturday. Also of note on Sunday, the acrobatics and tumbling season gets underway. They will take on Adrian at 12 noon. For more information, be sure to stay tuned to CUWFalcons.com. And thanks for watching This Week in Falcons Athletics presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.